Hey guys, I did not plan to go live, but I'm gonna share something really quick with all of us. I hope you all had a great week. I hope your Friday was great. I hope it was blessed. I hope this past week was great for you. And even if it wasn't great, whatever happened that may have crippled your spirit or whatever disappointment you may have faced during this past week, I pray that you just get over it, brush it off, and just prepare yourself for this coming new week. Just transform your mind and just remove all negative thoughts. Now, this is one of the reasons why I sometimes don't like social media. I find that social media is a great tool. It's a great avenue to connect with others. It's a great way to network. It's a great way to share faith. And it's a great way to encourage others, especially times like now, especially times like now that we're living in, with everything that's happening. There's so much negativity that's going on, so we need the support of each other. But I find that people are also using social media negatively. If we can, we should use social media to speak positive words, use it to empower and inspire. But some people, they use social media to tear down others. And let me just tell you why I'm here tonight. Is because I have been seeing this. It seems to be a trend. It seems to be a trend now that when someone is going through something or someone is broken, it seems as though it's a trend that we are now celebrating their brokenness. Like, why are people doing this on social media? Like, we may hear of a person's downfall, whether it be someone that we know or someone in social media or a popular person, well-known person, and for whatever reason, whether they did something that was wrong or they were accused of something, but we heard of it. Now, whether or not we like a person, how does it make us a better person if we use our platform to tear down our brother and sister? Now, what do we get from that? What do we get from that? Like, I know not everyone on here believes in God. Not everyone on here is a Christian. But as a Christian, this is what I want to share with you all. All vengeance belongs to God. That is what the Word of God says. Actually, in Proverbs 24:17, the Word of God says, "Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and don't be glad when they stumble." I know that there are people who are hurt and broken because of what a person may have done to them or what a person may have said against them. However, it doesn't make you a better person when you see whoever you find or classify as your enemy, you see them in a state where they're broken or they're in a shameful state. Don't do that. Do not rejoice when your enemy has failed. Okay, we know that we are covered, yes? If we have enemies and if we have people who are fighting against us and whatever, we don't need to worry about them because we are covered, as long as we stay focused and we just continue doing what we know is correct. We don't need to worry about haters because as long as we're doing something good, we'll always have critics. But do not be like them If you find that your enemy is now in a state of shame, or something horrible has happened, do not celebrate them. Don't celebrate the demise of your enemy, because what will happen, God will look at your attitude, and instead of you seeing what you were hoping to see on that enemy's life, it may just affect you and your own family or your generation. So we have to be very careful how we're wishing ill on others, even those who have harmed us. I know that forgiveness is sometimes a difficult thing to do, depending on what a person did or said. But there are times where you really got to leave it at the foot of the cross. You got to leave it in God's hands. There are certain battles that you can't fight, Let God deal with your enemies. It's actually Romans 12:19. Do not take revenge. And I'm going back to what I had mentioned about Proverbs. Do not take revenge, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, vengeance belongs to God, and he will repay. So if someone do you harm, do not go ahead of God. Let God do his work. Let God be God. Do not celebrate the downfall of a person that you don't like. Because maybe the person isn't even your enemy. You may just see the person and you just don't like them for whatever reason it is. Or maybe the person did do you harm. But my point is, just because you're seeing them at their lowest moment, do not celebrate it. Now, this is not something that everyone wants to hear. You don't want to hear it because you want to see your enemy broken. You want them to get a piece of what they gave you. You want them to get a taste of their medicine. But that is not your job. It's not my job, and it's not your job. Vengeance does not belong to you and I. It belongs to God. And I'm seeing this on social media, where someone someone who's well known, there is a lot that's going on around that person, and because that person has found themselves in a situation of shame, there are persons who are celebrating that shame. Now, we cannot say that we are trusting God to open doors for us while we are celebrating the downfall of another person. We cannot fool ourselves, because by celebrating the downfall of another person and not praying for them, we are blocking the doors. We're blocking our blessings. So we have to be very, very careful. I saw a post earlier where someone literally said how they're so happy that XYZ happened to such and such person, and how they hate such and such person. Like, these things are just so powerful and so strong. Like, how can we be so hateful and so angry at someone to the point where we want to celebrate when the person is most defeated? Let me tell you, even if a person broke you or hurt you, if you can find it in your heart to pray for that person, even if you feel they don't deserve it, you'll see how God bless your life. There is a Jamaican saying, when you're digging a hole, let me say it to my patois, when you dig a hole, you dig it deep. Or you dig two. You dig a hole and you dig it deep enough for yourself, because you yourself will also fall if you go that route, and your generation. So it's like a curse that would come upon you if you celebrate in the downfall of others. It's not a good thing. It's not. We need to be our brother and sisters' keepers. Even if a person is in the wrong, we should never celebrate their downfall, because we never know what another person is going through. We never know, and we just need to be a source of encouragement. Depression is real. Suicide is real. There's a whole lot of mental health conditions out there. So let's not add to the problem, but let's be a part of the solution. So I just wanted to just spread some positivity and to just encourage us to just continue to just have a pure heart, you know. Don't allow the flesh to rise up, and don't follow those who are ungodly, because we're seeing a lot of that now. You know, it's really sad. And those of us who say that we fear God, we really should be careful and mindful. All right, so that's all I wanted to say. I didn't plan to go live, but I just wanted to share some light on this and to just spread some positivity. So you guys be blessed and have a great night. Bye-bye.